Welcome to Energy is Currency, the Millennial Development Podcast devoted to helping you mind your business personally and professionally. My name is Alexis Williams, and I am your marketing consultant, idea generator, and mini modern philosopher, the entrepreneur that checks all the boxes, whatever that may mean. Subscribe to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and iHeartRadio to listen to every gem in every episode. Season 1 is available on all streaming platforms. Welcome back. We are having a really fun conversation today on Energy is Currency. Of course, you know who I am. I'm Lexi, same old Lexi from last time. But today I have a really awesome guest with me. I have the honor to meet with Mike DeJong, and we're going to have some really interesting we're going to have a fun conversation about being a digital nomad, about the entrepreneur's mindset. Did you create a business or did you just create another job for yourself? We got some really good meaty points that we're going to have today. But first and foremost, let's get to know Mike. I'm going to pass him the mic and let him just give us the spiel. Tell us everything. What do the people need to know? So the floor is yours, my friend.
Oh, Lexi, thank you for that warm welcome. And I'm the one that's honored to be with you and your listeners.
Oh,
So thank you so much for having me.
thank
Really
you.
hope I respect them by giving them some great information today.
I think so. So tell us
Yeah,
about you. I literally just asked. I said, Mike, where are you? He's like, oh, well, I'm a digital nomad. So we need to start there because I think
sure.
you have the job that everybody dreams of. So how did you get this dream job?
Well, I decided I wanted to do it. Let's start with that.
Okay.
I took it from a dream, and then I made it a plan. I wrote it down, and
Okay.
then I executed on the plan, and here I am. So
So what was the dreaming stage like? I know with me, when I have an idea or like we just said, a nudge happens, it
yeah,
feels like I always say, well, this is a seed planted. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but this has an infectious quality to it. So what does that
sure.
feel like for you?
Well, sometimes it just starts with a whisper.
Ooh, okay.
You just get like a little whisper, and then it gets up to a nudge, and the universe is trying to tell you something. It'll keep nudging you, and then maybe it drops a brick on your head, or kicks you, or
I hope
does
not.
something a little stronger. If you're not listening, if you're not
Right?
paying
You're
attention,
resistant, right?
if you're
I,
not listening, if the energy isn't flowing the right way, the universe lets you know.
you know what? I look at it like a beaver dam where,
Mm,
beavers are doing what they're supposed to do.
mm-hmm.
They're creating the resistance for the waters. Cool.
Yeah.
Do your thing, beavers. However, when we're in that seed planting or that idea stage, we got to undo the beaver's work. You have to remove that resistance
Oh
so
yes.
that the idea can flow. I definitely
Yes.
have to deal with that where I'm like, okay, am I the drama?
Lexi, I think you're always the drama. I don't know you well enough to know that.
No,
I
Mike,
doubt that
that
you
was
are.
probably the most accurate sentence I've heard in a while. So what was happening when you got your first whisper? What was your life like at that point?
So I was working in corporate America at the time, Fortune
Mhm.
500 company operations, multiple states, thousands of units responsible for.
Mhm.
And I'm like, this is not wonderful. I'm traveling, which I love to do. I love to travel. I've loved to travel forever. My first career was as a commercial pilot.
Mm.
Like
Mm.
that was back in the day. Um, and
Awesome.
that's a really cool career uh,
It
for a lot of
is.
people.
It is. I actually have a friend who is and I probably talk about her all the time on the show. She is entering the Delta's Propel pilot program to
Oh
become a commercial
yes,
pilot. Well, and
yes,
I've just been able to be a cheerleader and kind of watch her through each step. And I don't understand any of the words she's saying. Everything is super technical, but it's a profound language. Airplane language is a language. But just
right.
watching
So
her,
and so's
it,
business language, and so's
yes.
yeah, everything.
So watching her through her experience has been beautiful. So, tell us more about your commercial. You have done a lot. Wait a minute. So we started off as a commercial pilot.
Right.
We
And then
transferred to corporate America.
which was a lot of fun, but I get I don't want to say bored easily, but distracted easily. And that's something that I've actually really been working on.
Okay.
It stopped me from being successful
Oh,
early on, but
okay.
we could circle back to that. Then I went
Oh,
and
for
got a
sure.
mechanical engineering technologist degree and
Mhm.
worked in the steel industry for a bunch of years, traveled all over the world, seen just
Awesome.
about every steel mill in the Western Hemisphere. Uh, Note, they're not in the nice parts of town.
We were talking about all things pilot language,
Yeah.
commercial pilot language, joining the Propel program like my friend just did. But you mentioned a really fun point, which I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs carry a lot of shame about. I don't believe that entrepreneurs are supposed to stay in the same areas. I think you master something here and then you master something else and then you master something else. How do you feel about that in your experience? Because you've done a lot
I
of fun stuff.
Right. I think entrepreneurs, we like to stay in, I've heard it called our zone of genius or what we like to do or what we're good at.
Yes, yes,
Um, and then we get bored because we like, okay, I succeed in this. Let's go do something else.
right.
And in a more recent transformation for me, the thing that took me from, having an average life and doing, even when I was working for myself as an entrepreneur, having average wages was learning a new skill set, but in the same area. So instead of completely changing jobs, changing industries, changing
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
let's go from really being really good at opening one to really good at opening four or five, because
right.
that's a different skill set. I call that the operator trap. We work really hard
Yes,
and that makes us successful,
yes,
and then we're like, okay, in the US we got this hustle culture. We work. We're gonna put in the hours, we're gonna put in the time. I don't need to sleep, I don't need to eat,
Ugh,
maybe I don't even need to shower. I just got
no, go
168
back.
hours in the week. Okay, yeah, we do need to shower. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Believe me, I'm kidding. uh and eating, I love that way too much also.
Right? But I've talked to so many hardworking people, entrepreneurs, people in their corporate careers, and they disregard a lot of those elements. Like everything you listed somehow becomes negotiable when
Yes.
your career when you feel, because my thing is this, your career isn't genuinely on the line between meeting your basic needs. I don't believe in a career where me meeting my basic needs is going to be the interruption to my financial success. I don't believe that, but a
Right.
lot of people do.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do. And that's
Yeah.
that's what I call it, the operator trap, because we get stuck in operating these businesses where we're the one making the decisions, we're the ones making the moves, we're the one pushing everything. Um,
Yes.
and
So
making that next step, becoming a true owner, is where we could really have the breakthroughs, learn something completely new, completely different skill set. Very exciting, but not
so
change careers and not change industries.
how do we move through the operator trap? How do we get to the next level? What's the secret, Mike?
It's very simple. You just get out of your own way.
But how do I get out? I feel so attacked, Mike. How do I get out of my own way?
Oh my goodness.
I feel like you just gave me a grenade and was like, "Oh yeah, just hold this right here really quickly."
Just hold this, just until you can put the pin
Hold
back
it.
in. Yeah. Or
Right. So you can put the pen back in. How do we get out of our own way? What does that look like? First, what does getting in your own way look like?
so I think we first need to recognize that we're in our own way before we can get out of our own way.
Yeah, for sure.
Because historically, most of us, like, oh, if I work a little harder, if I try a little harder, if I make a few more phone calls, if I whatever the action is, I'm going to get that next level of success. I'm going to get that thing I need.
Yeah,
I'm short on payroll this week. Man, I'll go close two more deals. I got this. Whatever it is.
right.
But then something usually happens in our life. We get sick, or someone near to us gets sick, or in my case, I went on this vacation, this well earned. It's been years since I went on a vacation, and it was a Midwest February, and
Where
and
did
that means
you
it was. Oh,
wait? You
sorry. Go ahead.
went to the Midwest in February, or you left
No,
the
no, I
Midwest
I
in February?
left. I
Oh,
left because
okay.
it was 80 degrees on a Saturday, and Sunday it snowed.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm done with winter. I'm going somewhere warm. I pulled up the laptop. I'm like, where can I go? Where could I leave? Like Tuesday, I'm on a plane down to Mexico. Got the family. We're going down there because to me, freedom equaled travel. I'd always had travel in my life. Every job I've been in, I've had travel in my life, but I never had a lot of travel for myself. And
Yeah.
I wanted a business for myself so I could have this freedom,
Right.
digital nomad, so I could have this freedom.
Right.
And I got off the plane and I turned my phone on. And as I'm turning my phone on, Bob Marley's playing, and like, which is like, I know it's so cliche, but it was true. And you can see the palm trees and the warm breeze, and then my phone explodes with like text messages, what's going on, what's happening, and then my manager calls, and she's only going to call me if the place burned down.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh God, I guess the place burned down. She's like, I just want to let you know I'm quitting, but I'll stay here until you get back.
And you checked into your hotel yet? Were you
Not even checked into the hotel yet. I am, because I'm an operator. Like, I gotta
Yeah.
keep, like
You
I was
gotta
back in
keep
the day, I had a
doing it.
pager
Yeah.
like that,
Oh, man, not a pager.
I'm old. Okay. I'm old.
No,
So,
you're seasoned and marinated.
yeah, there you go. Yeah. Earned every one of these, blonde hairs. I call these blonde hairs.
Trust me, I have them too. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yours looks a lot better than mine. So anyway, so I'm like, this is great. I'm on vacation and I got this manager, but she's going to stay until I leave. So everything's fine. No, every system and process I had, I didn't have one. Everything went through my manager or through me. So therefore she was checked out. So everything went through me. So I spent that entire vacation, instead of relaxing by the pool, which I've actually learned I don't do very well at anyway, but relaxing by the pool or going on neat adventures, I was on my laptop in the room, and on the phone and managing all of the little decisions because I never put any processes in place. I didn't have any procedures in place. I'm like, I don't need any of that. Corporate America has that stuff. My small business doesn't need that stuff.
Right.
And that was my realization that, oh my God, I'm stuck in this trap that I can't even take. you know, it was a planned 5-day vacation. I extended it to 10, like on the fly. When she called to say I'll be here until you get back in a week, I'm like, oh, did I say a week? I'm actually gone for 2
For
weeks.
3 weeks.
And then I went
One
to the
long
hotel front
vacation.
desk. I'm like, I'd like to extend for a week because I
You
knew I
were
wasn't
trying to
getting another
figure it
vacation
out.
for
Hey,
for
let's
a
make
long
this
time.
count. While we're here, we need to make this count.
Right. But
So
also
what
not
was
realizing that I'd be on the phone the whole time and I should have just went back. So
but I feel like you have to get some kind of vacation out of it.
yeah, I tried. I
Especially
got
it
a
sounds
few
like
hours in. It wasn't all bad.
especially if it sounds like you went home to a storm to a fire, having to put a lot of fires out.
Yeah.
So did you stay with that job? Did you close it out? How did you transition to becoming a digital nomad? Because that's the cool job. That's what everybody's trying to get to. How do I do that?
Well,
Who do I apply to?
how, well, you could start a lot sooner than me. I didn't. I started making some changes. I started putting some processes in place. I started putting some policies in place. I
Hmm.
started getting people to follow those processes and policies. But I only still had a few in place, and then I did the thing that a lot of operators do that gets them into trouble is I'm like, I know, I just need another location.
Okay.
If I have a second location, I'll make more money, and I could have I could hire better managers because I'll have more money, and
Yeah.
then I'll have all this freedom. No, that's not what happened. That's not
Oh,
what happened
so
because the culture doesn't automatically transfer. It just doesn't mythically come out of your head into the new people. You have to spend the time, and all the new people who haven't spent time with you for a couple of years in your first location don't understand the culture and don't haven't picked up how to do things, even though they're not written down
right.
or recorded on a loom
Are you
or
telling me
whatever.
that you didn't hire mind readers? Like, what is this
No, I
market coming
know.
to?
Yeah, maybe that'll come someday, but
I
it's not.
mean, we
It doesn't
got
exist yet.
AI next, and let's see what happens next, right? Because you're mentioning a really a really big elephant that a lot of small businesses experience. Because I remember my mentor telling me you cannot work in your business and on your business. It's
Perfect.
one or the
Yes.
other. You're gonna burn
Yes.
yourself out. You're gonna be less efficient trying to do both. And I've always carried that. And so I work less salon hours because I need definitive time to organize and structure my business. I can't do both. So if my
And
salon is open, I'm not touching a computer. But if my computer is open, I'm not touching a client. So I had to
Perfect.
learn how to separate those two. One, so that when I'm with my clients, we're having fun. I'm not trying to,
Yeah.
hey, can you fill out this paperwork for me while I blow dry your hair? We're not trying to
Right.
multitask. They didn't become my little, hourly assistants, but
Although that's not a
also
bad idea.
it doesn't work. It doesn't work. They
No.
don't want to
Okay.
work for you while they're getting their hair done. Very,
Oh,
very undisciplined clients. And then it's like, well, okay, go ahead and pay me full price now. They're like, I just work for 2 hours. Don't I get minimum
right.
wage? And it's like, well, wait, that's not what we talked about. So between the wage disparity, lack of skills, it just wasn't ideal. So I had to
Yeah.
stop. And I think that started when I was in college because I would try to work in my salon all day and say, okay, if I get off at 3, then I can work on my clients I can work on my
Yeah.
paperwork for the rest of the day. 3 would turn into 8 every
Yeah.
Thursday. And at 8 o'clock, I'm like, well, how do I get started with this 90-page paper that's due in two
Let's go.
weeks? And it's like,
Oh God.
oh, okay. So I was like, I had to really, I stopped working Thursdays in my hair salon maybe 10, let's say 8 years ago, because there was no way I was going to be able to do a degree program and finish and be with my clients intentionally. So that was
You're
my
ahead
way
of the
of.
curve. You are ahead of the curve, Lexi.
I was blessed to have a lot of really successful mentors. You know how Kanye West always says, "I don't take advice from people less successful than me."
Which is a wise, wise, wise quote.
A wise quote from a wild man, right?
Yeah,
But
true.
every blue moon, it makes sense, right? Every blue moon. And so I would always go and seek out people who had the freedom I wanted, or the family that I desire, or the operations. Like you come into their business and it's like, oh, I want this. Those are the people I hung out with.
Yeah. You gotta take that a step further though.
Ooh, what's the next step?
And that's not care what people that don't have what you want say.
That part.
Because so many people they get beat down by their friends and family and relatives and people who care and love them and don't want to see them hurt. It's like, oh, you don't want to do that. People fail at that.
You know what? I don't know. I wonder if that's a genetic thing. My entire life, I've never had the programming for that, which has which is awesome for me versus society. Terrible for me and my mom, because she's like, no, no, you're gonna get hurt. This is bad. You're giving me anxiety. I'm so worried, and I'm like, Mom, I'm doing it anyway.
Right. Which is beautiful. That's what I say to my mother too, and she's just starting to catch on. But
My mother and I are in a really sweet spot of me respecting and valuing her worries. Because, like you said, she wants the best for me. She does
right,
not want for me to experience hurt. And not or, but and allowing me to experience it how I'm being urged to or
hmm
nudged, or how the seed is being planted and growing.
yeah,
We're allowing space for both. So I can sit down and even offer her reassurance, like, hey mom, you raised a really intelligent daughter, you know, and
yeah.
and I'm gonna make mistakes, and I hope that you'll be willing to support me through those. But I think it's gonna turn out okay. But entrepreneurship has no pathway, and check this out. I started off as a cosmetologist in the era where we were revamping the first revamping of Greece, where they were singing "Beauty School Dropout" all the time,
Oh
and
my goodness. Okay,
oh, you're going
okay.
to cosmetology school. You're not going to go to college, or that industry doesn't make any money. And I was just like, well,
That's not true.
it wasn't true, and I wasn't designed for corporate America. So then
Oh,
what?
so here
So
you
then what?
are.
But here we are, and
Yeah.
I'd like to think I'm having a lot of fun. So let me
Well,
ask you this: how do we
sure.
break the operator's trap? How do we got to get out of our own way? But
Right.
what does that process look like? What does that look like?
So this is where we get into that whole metaphysical quantum.
Ooh, are we going to talk about
The
David Hawkins now?
uh, not today, not today. No,
Right, right.
we're gonna break it down and keep it relatively simple.
Okay, I'm
And
listening.
and that is that our stories generally keep us where we're at. in everything personal and professional. In this world, we experience facts, and then we make stories up about those facts so we could fit it into our worldview. And we generally make these stories up to fit in, so we're meeting our six human needs. Uh, as I've heard them described to me by the great Tony Robbins, we all have a need for certainty. We all have
Okay.
a need for variety, for significance, for love or connection, hopefully love, but some people settle for connection, and then for growth and contribution. And whichever
Oh,
one of
I love
those is our
that.
greatest need, whichever one is our primary driver, is what we're going to build the stories around
Oh,
uh, to meet. And then layer on top of that, it's usually built by some significant emotional thing that happened in our childhood. I'm not blaming our mothers.
it's just the
No,
programming.
it's
It's
just
just
the
the
program. It's
programming.
just everyone's doing the best job they can.
Yeah.
I joke you need a license to be a truck driver, but anyone could have a kid. So, um, and I got a lot of respect for truck drivers. I've
Yes.
tried that for a while.
Okay.
That's hard work. That is hard work.
Okay.
Yeah. Every time I'm like, you remember the original Top Gun when Goose is sitting outside the office with Matt? Was like, you got that number for the truck driving school? I might need that because we're about to get fired. I come back to that line once in a while, and then I'll go on a
Right?
long road trip, and I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't do this every day. These people are hard working.
They are, and I'm a long distance traveler. I can do a good 8 to 12 hour drive, and every time I'm like, man, I really could have been a truck driver. Hmm.
Could you
Hmm.
do it day after day after day after day
I
after
could do
day?
it like twice a week.
Okay, so there you go.
As long as they're super flexible with me and I get paid like maybe like $1 million an hour,
A
I
million
can do
dollars an
like
hour. That seems reasonable.
generous, and then
So,
and then it would be perfect.
so we got these facts. We make up these stories to hit our main human need,
Hmm.
and then our brain takes the shortcut all the time because it's not that it's lazy. It's just it uses a lot of calories, so it can't process everything all the time.
Yeah,
So it uses these shortcuts, and then we end up where we're at. And the whole point of this is, well, if we understand that there's stories or there's facts, we can change the story.
I love
And
that.
it's again, it sounds simple. It's a little bit more complicated. So I recommend people start with something uh, easy, something
Yeah,
small. Don't go change like your whole worldview overnight. Although you can, the best if you're like a Tony Robbins or someone like that. I'm sure you could. But for the rest of us mere mortals, um, change something small, and you could rewire it in time where it
right.
just becomes automatic. And an example I love to give because it still actually makes I've rewired it so powerfully that I usually cry when I give it. Is I used to get really upset when people would cut me off in traffic,
Oh,
like
okay.
really upset, like why are you more important than me, and you put my life at jeopardy by cutting me off. And
Yeah, for
just
sure.
like a lot of swear words usually get said in my head, sometimes out
Ah,
loud. I'm not the sort that honks the horn or flips the bird,
okay.
but not normally. I'm not saying never, but not normally. We all have our moments.
The
We all have our
birds
moments,
are
Lexi.
there, but
We all have our moments, Lexi. Um, but I'm like, this is not good. Why is my heart rate going up and my blood pressure just getting cut off in traffic? So over time, I said, let's just change the story. How about we think that instead of this person being an SOB, how about we say he's on his way or she is on their way to visit their mother at their deathbed, and they got to get there before, like, this is where I start crying
I
because I have it
know.
so wired that it's like now I have grace for them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I hope you get there in time,
I love the
and all the stress goes away, and it's like, okay,
because you know what? It's now you weren't the victim in the situation that needs to be protected. And now you're assisting, now you've become
you're the
a
guide.
participant
Yeah.
in their victim situation. So I think that's a great way of reframing things and taking yourself to a higher level emotionally to experience it. So that's really cool. I
And you could do that in anything
You
over
have
time.
to. So
Yeah.
let me make you laugh. I learned how to meal prep a few years ago, right? And I may
Okay.
have told this story on the show before, but I learned how to meal prep a few years ago because I was at home. Now, mind you, I have three older sisters, and we took one to college down in Louisiana back in 2000. Okay.
Okay.
This is significant. The year 2000 is significant. So in 2021, I was at home and I was starving and I was tired and I was too tired to cook, too tired to order, too tired to get up and do anything. But I was not tired enough to stop ruminating over how hungry I was. Now, I've been ruminating over how hungry I was and how I had just been deprived of food for so long that I went all the way back to the year 2000 when we dropped my sister off at college.
Okay.
Now, during this experience, in retrospect, we were experiencing separation anxiety, my other sister and I, because our oldest sister was leaving and she was starting this new adventure and blah, 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 blah. So my middle sister ate my catfish.
What?
Now, mind you, we're in a hotel. So microwaves and refrigerators were scarce. And
Yeah.
I had my heart set on this catfish because as I'm not sure where you rank with your siblings if you have them, but when you're the baby sibling, all of your stuff becomes community. So if you can't see the chip on my shoulder, I still want to point it out. It's still there. So late in 2021, I am ruminating over how my sister ate my catfish in the year
21 years
2000,
ago.
21 complete adult years ago. Okay. This,
Oh my.
and I had a moment where I was like, yo, you're mad about 21-year-old cold catfish. You realize that, right? And in 21 years, you have eaten plenty of catfish and now you have money to buy your own catfish.
You just
And
changed the story.
I had to because I was going to perish. I was going to perish. I was going to cross
Oh my
over
God, the
from
words matter. I'm
the
so hungry,
words,
I'm gonna perish.
right? I was just,
Like how like I can
I'm
miss
turning
quite a
into
few meals
dust.
before I perish. I think
And I
most of us
think
can.
I was at the brink and I literally had to laugh at myself and say, girl, order a pizza, please, for dear life.
With catfish on it.
Please, no, I would. I do love a good seafood pizza. Don't get me wrong. I love a good seafood pizza, but catfish didn't make the cut. But
Should we start some controversy? Pineapple on a pizza or no?
you know
No,
what?
don't answer that. We don't
You
want to
know
start
what?
that
We're gonna
controversy.
end this now, Mike.
We
We're
don't
not
need that. We're
doing
gonna
this.
let's just leave
America's
that out
given
there
us
for people
enough,
to
okay?
fight in the comments. We won't get involved.
So yes, let us know if you are a pineapple crusader or not, okay?
Right?
But at that point, I was like, Lexi, seriously,
Oh,
seriously. And I had to laugh because that wasn't the first time I had had that rumination. And I
just
said,
it
okay, you can't make it. You cannot make it to the point where you are so hungry. One, you think you're going to perish, but also that you are upset about catfish from 20 years ago.
there's so much to unpack. I'm not a therapist, but there's so much to unpack here, Lexi. Like I don't play one on TV either, or on YouTube or anywhere, but I mean, just the words like I'm gonna perish, and we all do that. Like they always do this. They never do that. I've tried everything.
We
Like
use such big, and I am notorious. I'm notorious for
you're
using
notorious. Yes, look at
big,
that.
big, unnecessarily
You're
applicable words.
notorious.
And I
And
love
when they're
that.
positive words, they're great. And
I
when they're
know
negative words, they could really bring you down.
exactly. So I
So this is a great tie-in to how we
yes, no,
change
for sure. Because it is
because
about the language that you use. So in
yes,
yoga, we call it the wheel of suffering. So
yeah.
anytime you
Oh,
attach the
yes.
phrases me, I, my, mine to an experience, you have added more suffering to your experience.
And we all
So
have our
when we
own
say, I'm
special flavor of suffering that we like.
right, my sister took my catfish from me, you know,
Right.
this was my catfish. I've been violated now, right? But really was my sister was hungry and she needed some food. That's all it was.
That's all it was.
That's
It was a
all it
moment.
was.
And you didn't at the moment.
And I was not in proximity to the food that she was. So she ate it.
So a little, this is funny, I think. Whenever I hear my or mine,
Mm-hmm.
I want to make it ridiculous so that I don't want to think it anymore. So if you've seen the
Oh,
movie Finding Nemo, and the
Yes,
seagulls are coming and they're like, mine, 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 mine. I think of that scene and I'm like,
that is
okay,
so
this is just too
funny.
ridiculous. I just need to like not make it mine anymore.
But I love one how aware you are about your internal narrative, and two how the style of control that you're applying to this. You bringing a level of humor to it, and that creates the most lasting or impactful change. Like laughing
Yeah.
about old catfish, like once you make it something ridiculous, then the brain is like, oh, that can't be true anymore.
It can't be
We
true.
can
Let's just
move
move
on
on.
from that. Once you add the ridiculousness to it. Oh my goodness. You know what that made me think of? Harry
Please
Potter.
bring it.
Have you seen which Harry Potter was that? It had to have been Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban when when they were bringing out the Dementors, where one of the teachers, who was a werewolf, was teaching the students how to manage the Dementors who thrived on negative emotions and negative
Yes.
feelings, how to combat them by shifting their narrative to, oh, this is something ridiculous or silly. So the teacher would introduce, this is your biggest fear. And then the student's job was to think of it as something more silly. So I think it was one with a spider. And so it was all terrified with the spider. And then he put roller skates on the feet. So it was like
Yeah,
an
which is
8-leg
crazy.
spider with roller skates. And it's like, how can you be terrified of that?
God, the things we
So
learn from pop culture that help us out.
pop culture wants to help us.
It does. I agree. I mean, Yoda and Obi-Wan are the guides to Luke Skywalker, and
Right?
everyone around Harry Potter are the guides that
Mhm.
to get him on his path. Like the heroes are weak, but they always end up winning in the end because they have the guides around them to get them there.
So I don't feel like they're weak. I feel like they're inexperienced.
Oh, that's a better way to put it. I agree with you.
I think they're inexperienced. How often do we run into three-headed dogs to know how to handle that?
Right, or spiders with roller skates. I mean, it's
Right?
just yeah,
But there is somebody who does have experience with this.
right.
I'd rather talk to them than see the spiders? So,
Well, which is why you knew back in the day because you found those people and you
hmm
knew, okay, I got to take a Thursday off so I could
I
work on my
kid you
salon and not
not.
in my salon.
I have made it my best effort to surround myself with people who are doing the things that I desire.
Yes,
Because I think the old phrase is if you hang around five people, five millionaires, you'll become the sixth.
yes,
But just the environment, because this is the thing, in certain communities, certain behavior isn't tolerated.
that's absolutely correct.
And I think it's important to surround yourself with with the people who value what you value and tolerate what you tolerate, but don't tolerate what you don't tolerate. And if
Yeah,
you're trying to grow,
and take it even a level up.
oh, I'm listening.
If you want to be a millionaire, find someone that's got $10 million. If you want to be 100 millionaire, find someone with $1 billion. Like,
Okay, come on, 10X rule. I see what you're doing here. But it's the effort. Live with people who are super comfortable with what
yeah,
you're trying to
because
achieve.
what they have in their pinky finger is like more knowledge than it takes you in a year to get. Like, I could do that on a Tuesday afternoon with what's in my pinky finger, and it's going to take you a year or two or 10 to figure it out yourself.
And think about the conversation we had earlier describing, you know, the worry from our parents and how that can assist with our programming. If our minds and our bodies and our subconscious are willing to accept negative communication,
Mm-hmm.
how much more willing are our bodies to accept positive communication? And the people who are doing what you want to do can speak much more highly about what you want to experience than the people who have no experience with it.
That is so true. So
You
why are we listening to
can't,
the people that don't have the experience with it? But yet
you don't
most
have the answers, Sway. I feel like I never get to say that. And I'm so grateful. This is my first chance. Thank you.
you're welcome. And is this where we drop the mic and just move on with the? No, I'm kidding. We got so much more to talk about.
Maybe.
If this gets edited, you cut it right there. I'll understand.
Okay, so tell us about Grow Smart. What is this Grow Smart stuff that you're on the path with? What is that about?
Well, I just realized that I spent a lot of years and a lot of money making a lot of mistakes, Lexi,
Yeah. Me.
and it caused a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Um, and we don't need to get into all of it, but just is there. So I'm like,
Yeah.
how can I reduce suffering in the world? Like that's one of my major human drivers. Like
Mm-hmm.
my driver is like I just need to reduce suffering. So if I know how to not do something, if I could be the guide to the hero on their journey, and so they could skip 10 years of pain, hundreds of thousands of dollars of mistakes, then I want to be that person.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been informally coaching and now formally coaching for a number of years,
Mm-hmm.
and people have come to me and said, Mike, you got to write this stuff down. Like this is like you're doing it one on one, or you're giving some keynote speeches here and there and talking to the masses, but you just need to write this down. So I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to do
Oh, he
that. I
was
don't.
building a beaver dam.
Uh,
Okay. I'm smelling
and
some resistance.
and then someone I really respected pushed, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have it done by this day, and I did because I committed to it. I put a deadline on it. Then things happen.
Yeah.
Kind of like the digital nomad thing. I put a deadline on it, and then it happened. Um, and the book got done, and it got edited, and it's been the people who have read it say that they really love it, which is great because like it's like watching yourself on one of these podcasts, or for most people they're like, I hate the way I look, blah blah blah. I hate the way I wrote that, but people have got a lot of value out of it. So that really like warmed me and wanted me to go further and help even
Oh,
more
I
people.
love that. I love that.
I'm a giver.
As we all should be. Okay. We need a lot more givers than takers. Okay. What is one thing, speaking of takers, what is one thing we can take away from your book that would, what's the one thing that people need to hear that says, okay, let me go ahead and order this off Amazon? It's happening. It's happening.
uh, One thing, just one,
Or two.
just one, just two, just three. No,
Yeah. Six.
just know that you're not alone.
Okay.
Just know that even though we all feel, because I've been there and I still feel it sometimes, we're in this silo that we're the only one going through this, or feeling these things, or experiencing these issues. We're not the only one.
Yeah.
And this will be your guidebook out of it. I could tell you, before I sat down with the right mentor and the right peer group, I was struggling. People in my business were making more than I was, because you got to take care of your people. And then I was able to get with the right group and the right mentors, and I 10x my income in 6 months,
Oh, wonderful.
and completely transformed my life and my business life and all the people that work for me's lives. Um, and wrote that knowledge down into this book, and it'll show you that really you just got to figure out where you are on the operator to owner journey, because
Mm.
we're all. And there's a free quiz in the
Oh,
book,
fun.
or at MikeDeJong.com. I don't even ask for your email address. Just go take the quiz. Uh, and you can figure out where you are in the journey, and then just know that, like, be real with yourself.
Okay.
You don't have to make it worse than it is. You don't have to make it better than it is. No one's judging you. It's just you are where you're at, where you're at,
Yeah.
and now you can start making the changes, and then it just starts with that first step.
So, what kind of pushback have you heard from people when you say, hey, I just, you need to go on this journey. You need to figure out where you are on your path, and
But
what's the typical resistances?
I'm sure you've seen this meme. Ain't nobody got time for that. I got bronchitis.
Right? Right, but some people do have bronchitis, and I do hope
Which
you
is
heal
true.
well. I do hope you heal well. That is true.
I do as well, but I don't have time. I'm already working. There's no hours left in the day. I can't possibly make a change. I'm barely holding it together as it is.
And you know what? Whenever I see stuff like that, one, I know that they're not time blocking.
Correct.
Two, I know that they don't say no often enough,
Or ever.
if ever. Okay.
They're not using their 5 to 9s, as I like to say.
Yep. And then I also can tell that they spend a lot of time on their phones.
The hugest distraction ever
When
brought
I
onto
hear when
mankind.
I hear I don't have time, I hear those three things immediately. One, you never say no. Two, you don't have no time blocking. And three, you spend too much wasted time zoned out. Yep.
Right. And
And you,
you're spending 80% of the time on the thing that'll give you 20% of the result instead of 20% of the
yes.
time, or 80% of the time on the thing they'll give what 20, you know what I'm trying to say, 20.
Yes. No, 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 no,
The
no.
80-20 rule. My brain just
The
stopped working 37
80-20
seconds
rule.
ago. Yes, it works.
But it's so true. It is so true. Even like I'll give you an example with I send a lot of emails to my clients in my hair salon. So at the beginning of I think every 6 months, I batch out what I want to write. And of course we use AI and chat GPT and all of that good
Sure.
stuff to help. But doing that for maybe a couple of hours in January and June makes the total difference between having to recreate the wheel
Yep.
February through May, and that's just one thing that frees up my time. So when I'm not working in my business, working on it doesn't feel like, what am I supposed to do now?
Right.
And the more
That's
I
good.
have systems set up, I actually have a lot more time
It's
because
amazing, right? And you get people to use the system, not just you using them.
yes, because the systems create muscle memory. Like my thing is, I tell people all the time, you cannot recreate the wheel every week. It's still going to be a wheel, and it's probably going to be very similar to the wheel from last week. You don't have to recreate it. Take
Right. We
what you're
found that the
doing
most
well
efficient way
and
to
do
get to
it.
8 is 4 plus 4. We
It
don't do
is.
7+1 or 6+2 or 2
No,
times 4. We just do
make it
4+4.
simple.
Let's just do that.
Make it
Yeah.
simple. But
Yeah. So then, I'll go like, okay, you don't have time. Like, you can get into this whole discussion about how they're using their time, and that there's only one priority. There's no such thing as plural to priorities. Like, you got to make a priority. All right, fine. I believe you.
mhm,
How about the next time you do a task, you just fire up Loom or Descript or take your cell phone and record yourself, and you just sit there and narrate what you're doing. It's like, okay, I'm going to this website, and then I'm looking for these things, and I click here, and then I click there, and I order this thing, and I only ordered if we're down to this much, and these are the pricing parameters, and then you're done, and then never look at it because you'll want to change it 400 different ways.
of
Just hand it
course.
off to someone and ask them to do it based on what was there.
Yeah.
And if they could do it without question, you got a procedure.
You got a
And if
standard
they
operating
can't,
procedure.
and if you can't, all right, well then do it again, or they'll ask some questions,
Yeah, and it's going to
and then
evolve over time, but start
it
off
has
with
to evolve
something
over
that
time.
makes sense.
Right.
I think this is my projection. I feel like people who don't want to work in corporate environment don't realize that they're rejecting some of the benefits of corporate environments because it's staunchy. You can't wear pink hair every day. You can't show your tattoos or whatever happens in corporate environments. I heard that a
Right.
long time ago and that ran me off. But in those environments, the systems are there for a reason.
Yeah.
And to order to operate at the scales that most corporations are capable of is because the process is duplicatable enough for
Yeah.
multiple people to fill that role, for a successor of that role, and it's very impersonal. We love the personal connection of small
We do.
businesses, but everything can't be a homemade from scratch. Let me go pick berries in the forest first or raise a chicken first. Like some
Yeah.
things have to have a process to it.
That's how you get it scalable.
That's how you
And
make it
if even
scalable.
if you don't want to scale it, you just want to like have some breathing space. That's how you get
Yeah,
breathing space.
yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree. I
Yeah. If it's got
totally
if you
agree.
do it more than 3 times or has more than 3 steps, like just make it a process.
Yeah, I find myself once I realized what a standard operating procedure was, because first off, what was that? But once
Yeah.
I figured it out, I was like, okay, it because I feel like I don't necessarily have an ADHD brain, but I do enjoy shiny things. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy a shiny thing or
I
two.
could tell you're a very creative person. Your brain's just going.
Yeah, it's
It's going
moving.
so fast.
So
Yeah.
I have something I can reference and go back to and say, oh, I left off on step 6. Okay, cool. Or I know a lot of people struggle with like perfectionism. I was just talking to one of
Perfect
my
is the lowest standard, Lexi, because it's never
oh,
achievable.
I
It's never
love
achievable.
that. Oh, I love that. I'm writing that down. Perfect is the lowest standard possible because it is not achievable. I was telling someone today, hey, completion is perfect.
Yeah.
Complete it. Once you submit it and turn it in, then we can do feedback and we can evolve it, but complete it. And I think
Yeah.
standard operating procedures give me a reference to know I've completed. Okay, I did step 1, I did step 7, I did step 5. I did all of the steps that were required of me. I'm done. I can take my hands off of it. Or else we'll keep
And
and
so,
we'll keep and we'll keep. And the time
so
has gone. The
yeah.
interest has died down. The customer has moved on to someone who has completed it.
Right.
And it just
Well, and in
it just
small business, sometimes just having the minimum viable product, everyone wants this perfect product.
yeah.
It's like, you don't know that that's what the customer actually wants. Like, you want to look at a minimum viable product? Look at my website. It needs some work, but it's a website. Like it, like I'll make it better. Like
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah. You can always improve. There's always room for improving and brand upgrades and
Yeah, all the
all of
time.
that stuff. But if you don't submit something, we can't improve upon nothing.
You, bingo. And then one last mind shift change. Instead of saying I can't find anyone that does this as well as me, how do I find someone that does this better than me?
How? Yeah.
How?
How?
Change the question. You get if you ask better questions, you get better answers.
And I feel like the second question was an invitation for participation. The first one, the first question I can't, or the first statement, I can't find anyone that does this as well as me. That's an island statement. I feel like once you say that, now you're on this little space by yourself
Yep.
and you're just a one of one. And that's just not real. In fact, there are more people who are doing it better than you.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Especially with these Gen Z kids. What I've noticed, especially in the hair industry, is cosmetologists can sometimes be very catty because we're rewarded for our longevity. I have 20
Okay.
years in the industry. I have 30 years. I've been behind the chair since 1986 or whatever statement they throw out, right?
Yeah.
But then you get the girls that are graduating from school recently and they have updated technology, they have social media, they have experience, they have your experience to gleam upon, and they get really intimidated by that. And
Mm.
so I've noticed where that's created kind of a barrier for people where younger people, I said this to say, the younger people are supposed to be doing it better than you are.
Yeah. This
Kobe
is true of
was
any
supposed to
generation.
be better
Our
than
parents'
Jordan. Okay.
generation is like, oh, these kids these days. It's,
These
it's true.
days
It's true of
with their
every
rap music.
generation ever. Like there are amazing people. Like because I in my businesses, I have. Sometimes I joke I have the newlyweds and the nearly deads, like because I don't seem to have anyone in between. I but
Yeah.
but it's interesting to watch them work together. You'll take someone that's like in their 60s or early 70s and they're working with someone that's in their teens, maybe up to 30,
Hmm.
and the different things they bring to the table. This creates like beautiful, like, oh my God, like neither of them could have done it alone probably, but
Oh, I love
together they
that.
get some great stuff.
Yeah, I love that. I do. I do enjoy those collaborations where you can see where they have the experience, but this one is thinking out of the box.
Yeah.
And now they can create something new.
And as
I
long as
love
you
that.
got respect, for each other,
Yeah,
you can
for
get that
sure.
creativity. Yeah. Having
As
that culture.
long as you have respect. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Crazy.
So, what is something that you want to leave with the listeners? If Mike doesn't tell you anything else, this is what you need to learn from him.
Find a coach, find a mentor, find somebody who's already doing what you want to do, or better yet, 10 steps above. Get in the room with these people
Okay.
and you'll figure it out. Instead of hanging out with people that want to do it, who haven't figured it out yet, go get in a room with people done it. There's trade shows, there's conferences, there's YouTube, there's
Yeah.
Spotify, there's podcast. There's like find the people. Like I've been approached by people. I've given keynote speeches, and then, like someone will come up after me. It's like, hey, can I have a conversation with you? And I got a few people that I'm not coaching, but I am mentoring
Yeah.
because I just want to give my knowledge, and most people do. Go get in a room.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. What makes a good mentee? Cuz I feel like even I myself, I'm a little hesitant to work with mentees right now. It's a lot of time. And I ain't got time for that. No, I'm joking. But but I find myself a little bit resistant to working with mentees because Because I feel like I don't know, I'm having a resistance with this. What makes a good mentee? Who should we be looking for to share with?
Mm. It starts with, for me, it starts with the respect. Like, hey, I'd like to schedule some time with you, not like, can I pick your brain like right now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then it also goes with, I can't afford a coach or anything right now. Like, I hate it. Like, I hate when people, can I pick your brain over a cup of coffee? It's like, you get $500 for that hour, because that's what I normally charge.
Right?
But and then I'll give them the time, because if they're earnest, etc. And it takes guts, like after something, to come up to someone and say, not just, oh, you did a great job, but I want to learn from you. I think that's the first part.
Mm-hmm.
They had to spend some effort, but then, do they show up on time? Do they have great questions? This is the first time I talked to them. Do they have good questions? Not just good questions. Do they have great questions,
Yeah.
and are they open to learning? And then, uh, do they push back a bit? And I don't mean
Ooh.
like you're wrong. I mean, like, hey, my understanding was this, and you're telling me it's that. Can we talk about the differences and why? And
Okay.
they want to have a discussion, because I find I grow from that.
Yeah, critical thinkers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If it's just someone said, you go, oh yeah, just tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do. I don't want them.
I don't
You
either.
can,
I don't either. But I love the idea of being really of everyone putting in the effort. You know?
yeah, yeah.
When
It's
I
got to be a
go
mutual relationship. I'm getting something out of it. They're getting something out of it. Everybody's happy. If it's just tell me what to do, no.
yeah.
I do that for a living. Like, you could pay me.
I feel like at that point it's kind of like I don't I want to be your resource to help you through your journey, but I don't want to be your cheat sheet.
Yeah, yeah. You're
Yeah.
not the cheat codes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to do this for you.
But even just get in the room. The best room I ever got in, I'll plug it, is Tony Robbins Platinum Partnership. That is a
Okay.
room full of really smart people from all over the world, very diverse backgrounds, lots of different businesses.
Okay.
Totally opened up my mind to what's possible.
I'm
But
gonna have
there's
to check
other
this out.
rooms I've been in before and since then that are amazing.
Yeah.
But they're more industry specific or etc. So I'm not going to necessarily give them a plug here. But
Gotcha.
but Tony brings people from all over the world, all industries, etc. together. And then, like every room you get in, you get what you give. If you're adding value to them, if you're bringing value to them, if you're spending your time with them, and not just like, tell me, gimme, that's a whole different thing. So just get in a room.
I call that the lean in. You have to lean
Yeah,
into it and
yeah.
kind of,
That's a
you
good
don't have
term.
to
Lean
jump
in.
in, but sometimes just present yourself towards it. Because sometimes we
Yeah,
can be balled up or not even willing to make eye contact with or participate, or, we're very guarded. We can be so guarded. But
yeah,
sometimes you just got to lean in and listen a little closer, make
yeah.
yourself a little bit more available to receive.
And if someone bites at you, just be
Bite
respectful and
back.
take.
Oh, okay. What he said.
Well, it depends. It depends. Maybe it's a bite back, but often it's a, oh, I didn't understand the rules of the group.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That part. Yeah.
So like, I'm going to be a little bit more respectful here and re-engage, instead of like, oh, you people are nasty, I'm out of here. Like, which I've seen. Like, I just, you're
Yeah.
like, all right, like,
I
no
haven't.
one wants to help that person that's like, all the time.
I
I'm not
have
saying roll over and
noticed
show your
that
belly, but you got to be respectful of the rules of the group.
there is a fine balance. And what I've noticed is there needs to be flexibility or resilience from the heart space in those spaces.
Yeah.
It's okay. People are going to say uncomfortable things to you. You have to decipher whether that's disrespect or if that's malice. I love big words.
Or
They were being
or
malicious
maybe
towards
feedback
me.
that no one gave you, that you really needed and you don't want to
Right?
hear, so you, because you're in the way of your own growth.
Or whatever.
Maybe.
Or
Or
whatever.
whatever.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It could be anything. Who knows? We'll
Yeah.
never know. But definitely approaching group experiences from a heart oriented space.
Heck yeah.
I've experienced myself being too logic space about things and just totally crapping myself out. Just like,
Mm,
you totally overthought that. You thought your way out the door. And then being in spaces where I'm like, I'm not using my brain at all. I'm just here to hang out and investing in the people. And they're like, okay, Lexi, we need your brain for this. I'm like, okay, I brought it with me. But
You're
It's
like,
not
I got it right here. No, I'm just kidding.
exactly.
That's
No,
your external
for
brain.
sure.
That's
And
not your real brain. Yeah.
but what I've noticed in in my experience is when I lead with people first, whatever we're working on, we'll figure it out. But if
Yeah,
I lead
that's
with
true with taking care of your customers, taking care of your
yes,
business, everything. People
yes,
first. Yes.
and I just hustle culture doesn't teach you people first because then it would have to acknowledge that you're people too, and your needs to be met, and your needs need to be met. But if you're so busy participating in the wheel or in the operator's trap, then you become
Yeah.
very self-sacrificial, aka self-sabotaging, in my opinion. Where if I don't eat, why would I care if you ate? You know, we need to get
That's so
this
true.
done. You're holding us
Yeah.
up with that stinky sandwich, you know. So
Yeah.
we
Especially
gotta
in this day and age with reputation, it's everything. It's
it's
everything.
everything. So
And hustle
definitely
culture gets you to here, but collaboration gets you to here.
I'm learning that in real time, Mike. I really am.
Are
In
you?
real
Oh, tell
time.
me
And
more.
I am definitely enjoying myself. I really, really am. And I don't think I've had this much confidence or courage to approach it from heart space, but I'm grateful that I've tried it this way. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Warms my heart to hear
I know I'm having a great time.
it.
And everyone's giving me gifts. This is great.
Love it. Love it.
This
Love it.
is
Love it.
great. Well, Mike, we can hang out all day, but I think you
And we
agree
will, but probably not online.
no, we have stuff to do. Okay, we have trips to go on.
Okay. All
So,
right.
how can the listeners get in contact with you? How can we stay in contact with you? How can we start our Mike DeJong obsession? What do we need to do first?
Wow, an obsession. I like
Yes,
that. I like the sound of that.
yes. Big words
Um,
mean something. Yeah.
yeah, MikeDeJong.com. You could download an absolutely free copy of the book there.
Oh,
Don't
fun.
charge you a penny for it.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I'm finally putting it on Amazon. It should be on there by the end of what are we in April now? End of May, 2026. I
Awesome.
resisted putting. I'm like, I don't. People don't need to buy it. I'll just give it to them. And people are like, no, I need a physical copy, and I need it on my Kindle. And reading your PDF isn't like it's great. It's a good book, but I want it like the way I want it. I need a physical book. I'm like, all right.
Isn't that a
So
wonderful thing? We want more from you. We
we
want
want more. I'm
more.
like,
We want more.
it felt good. So I'm working on that. It's
Awesome.
not hard. It's just you got to schedule the
It's
time
tedious.
to make it happen. So
Hmm.
I'm making that happen, doing the audio version. But yeah, MikeDeJong.com. And then I as my gift to you and your listeners, schedule a 30-minute call with me. It is not a sales call.
No, no
I do
problem.
not sell you a thing.
Okay.
I'll just tell me where you're at, and I'll tell you what I think, and you could take the information, do with it what you want. But I can
Oh,
usually figure out in about 30 minutes where people need to go
we love that. And we can find that we can schedule our calls on the website.
on the website. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Now
That is
remember, it's a minimum viable product. The website will get better, but it's there.
You know what? Nowadays with Instagram, people don't even have websites anymore. And we were buying stuff from people before websites existed. So we'll
Right?
be okay.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll
be
be
okay.
fine.
We can live without it.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it has been a genuine pleasure having this conversation with you. I really, really appreciate you making time for us on your digital nomad journey. That's so cool. And just making time to just talk about really breaking through some of those mental barriers that we're creating for ourselves. So we will close this show out with gratitude. Thank you for hanging out with us, Mike. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Lexi. I really, really appreciate it back. I think we're going to help some people
Yes.
out.
I think so. And if it so, listen to this episode. All you people listening now, listen to this episode. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. So you got 4 locations to watch it, listen. You can travel it with your car and everything. And if you want to know more about my brand, you can visit blushbizonline.com and let's grow together. We got some stuff to be doing. So until
Oh
next
yeah.
time, uh, remember your energy is your currency. Make the most of it. And I'll catch you next time. Okay.